Imagine that everything you know, the walls around you, the sky above your head, the people you meet every day, isn't as real as it seems. As if the very fabric of reality were an illusion, a complex projection created by something much bigger and deeper than we can perceive. What we call the physical world may just be a layer of something infinitely deeper, a surface hiding truths that escape our understanding. Government agencies like the CIA have secretly studied these possibilities to understand whether what we believe to be solid and tangible is, in fact, a holographic construction. For decades, these agencies have investigated human consciousness and its ability to shape reality, how thoughts, emotions, and intentions can alter the course of what we call reality. Declassified documents show that there's something beyond what our senses can grasp. But why have these discoveries been kept from the public for so long? What is so powerful about this information that it had to be hidden? Now, with that in mind, I ask you, is reality really what it seems? Or are we merely scratching the surface of a much deeper truth? So today, we'll explore this hidden truth, investigated by agencies and sages over time, and discover how the key to understanding and distorting reality is closer than you might think, perhaps within you. As we delve deeper into the nature of reality, an intriguing question arises. Why would agencies like the CIA dedicate so many years to investigating seemingly out-of-the-ordinary phenomena, like consciousness and the structure of reality? In the 1980s, a document known as the Gateway Process was drafted by the CIA. It reveals studies conducted on the expansion of consciousness and the ways in which the human brain can access higher levels of perception. The focus of these studies was to discover how certain meditative practices could unlock hidden layers of reality and radically change how we perceive it. Through techniques like deep meditation and hemispheric synchronization, or hemi-sync, humans would be able to access dimensions beyond the ordinary, where time, space, and matter start to behave in ways that defy logic. But what really stands out in these studies is the revelation that reality may be holographic. The concept of a holographic reality suggests that the entire universe and everything we experience as solid and fixed is nothing more than a projection of information encoded in frequencies. Just like in a hologram, where each part contains the whole, the reality we live in would be only the manifestation of deeper sets of information, organized and interpreted by our minds. This idea completely changes how we see the world around us, because it implies that what we see as real can be manipulated and altered, as long as we know how to access these hidden pieces of information. The Gateway Process also explored meditative practices that not only expand consciousness, but also enable the exploration of other mental states, such as astral projection and even experiences of parallel realities. The CIA was interested in understanding how these mental states could be used to modify the perception of reality, and the results of the studies indicated that our mind is not confined to the physical body. Consciousness, when sufficiently trained, can break the barriers of time and space. These investigations suggest something even deeper. Our thoughts, when well directed, are like codes that interact with this hologram. They are not just internal reactions or reflections of experiences. They shape the very structure of what we experience. The practices investigated revealed that by controlling thought patterns and emotions, we can literally alter the perception and events around us. These studies open the door to a much greater understanding of reality. If our mind has the power to access these hidden dimensions, this means we can learn to shape, adjust, and even distort the reality we live in. However, understanding this concept requires a deeper exploration of the relationship between consciousness, thoughts, and the energy field we emit. We first need to understand that what we perceive as solid and physical may, in essence, be a projection, a manifestation of information organized and interpreted by our mind. But what makes this projection even more fascinating is that our consciousness is not just an observer of this hologram, but also its co-creator. Quantum physics has long explored the relationship between the observer and matter, revealing that consciousness directly affects the behavior of subatomic particles. Heisenberg's famous uncertainty principle, for example, suggests that the mere act of observing changes the state of a particle. This means that the reality we experience is not fixed. It responds to our presence, our expectations, and our thoughts. This concept is not limited to the quantum world. Neuroscientists are also revealing how the human brain interprets and constructs reality. What we call the external world is actually a representation created by our brain from sensory stimuli. The brain, in processing this information, creates an internal projection of what we believe to be the world around us. But here's the most important detail. This projection is directly influenced by our thoughts and emotions. Think about it. Every thought we have generates a frequency, a vibration that interacts with this holographic screen we call reality. The world we experience is largely shaped by the vibrations we emit. When we feel something, whether it's fear or joy, these frequencies reflect in the energy field around us, and as a result, our reality begins to reflect those same vibrations back to us. If we look at reality as a hologram, we can understand that consciousness acts as a lens. The way we think, feel, and react serves as a filter that adjusts the information we receive from the holographic field. In simple terms, the mind projects and the world responds. This means that our beliefs, often unconscious, are directly responsible for the way reality unfolds before us. Experiments like quantum entanglement, or spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it, show that two particles, even when separated by vast distances, can instantly influence one another, as if connected by an invisible thread. This suggests that, on a fundamental level, everything in the universe is connected, including our minds and the realities we create. If reality is holographic, this means that every thought, every emotion, every intention we have is a code that interacts with this system. In that case, we are both receivers and transmitters of information. The world around us, then, can be seen as a mirror of the frequencies we are constantly emitting. The meditative practices studied by the CIA confirm this ability to fine-tune consciousness, allowing us to access deeper levels of perception where the rules of physical reality begin to dissolve. This understanding brings us to a fascinating point. The reality we see is not imposed on us. It is, in a way, a continuous movement between what we think and what we perceive. Our perceptions are constantly being shaped by consciousness, and this interaction reveals that by modifying our thoughts and emotions, we have the ability to shape the hologram of reality around us. But how exactly can our thoughts be used to consciously shape this holographic reality? The answer lies in understanding how thoughts and emotions, when well directed, can generate tangible changes in the structure of reality. Thoughts are not just internal mental processes. They are frequencies that interact with the energy field around us, adjusting and shaping our life experiences. Our thoughts and experiences have a direct effect on the structure of the brain. Each time we think in a certain way, we strengthen specific neural circuits. Over time, these thought patterns become habits, and these habits shape not only our behavior, but also the way we perceive and interact with the world. Think of thoughts as frequencies. Every thought we have emits a specific vibration that interacts with the hologram of reality. For example, when a person repeatedly thinks about something, those vibrations end up shaping that person's experience. The brain, molded by these thought patterns, begins to seek external evidence that reinforces these internal states. It's as if thoughts create a lens that filters reality to support what is thought. Studies on mental visualization, often used in the training of elite athletes, demonstrate that imagining a successful situation can impact the body in ways similar to the actual physical experience. When an athlete imagines running a perfect race, the same neural circuits that would be activated during the real race light up. This means that the mind, when visualizing a desired scenario, is already preparing the body and external reality to respond accordingly. Visualization can be applied to any area of life: health, relationships, career, anything. By focusing your thoughts on a desired outcome, you are literally tuning your mind to a frequency that alters perception and attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that resonate with that frequency. The mind does not distinguish between the real and the imagined as clearly as we think. For the brain, both are merely stimuli that create a physiological and energetic reaction. But for these thoughts to effectively shape reality, a level of conscious control is required. Often, our thoughts operate in repetitive and automatic patterns, programmed by past experiences and subconscious beliefs. This unconscious repetition is what keeps many people trapped in the same circumstances, unable to break free from the cycles that shape their reality. To break this cycle, it is essential to begin observing and reprogramming these mental patterns. Here, meditative practices become fundamental tools, not only for quieting the mind, but for expanding consciousness and accessing deeper dimensions of reality. Meditation is more than just a relaxation technique. It is a key to unlocking the hidden potential of the mind and consciousness. When we meditate, we create a space of inner silence where we can observe thoughts without being dominated by them. This state of observation not only allows us to slow down automatic mental patterns, but also to tune into higher frequencies of perception. This shift in frequency directly alters how we interact with the world around us. Declassified CIA studies, such as those related to the gateway process, investigated advanced meditative practices that use specific technologies to synchronize the brain's hemispheres, a technique known as hemi-sync. The concept behind hemi-sync is simple yet deeply transformative. By synchronizing the brain waves of both hemispheres, it's possible to access altered states of consciousness that are not easily reachable in our ordinary waking state. These states allow for the exploration of internal and external realities beyond the limits of everyday perception. Practices like this show that the mind can be trained to operate at higher frequencies, where the barriers of time, space, and matter begin to dissolve. During these deep meditation sessions, people report experiences of astral projection, where their consciousness seems to leave the physical body and explore other dimensions of existence. Other experiences include vivid visions, communication with entities, or even states of pure consciousness, where the self merges with the whole. These states were studied by the CIA not only for their spiritual implications, but also for their ability to modify the perception of reality in ways that defy logic. Beyond reports of mystical experiences, meditation also has a practical and measurable impact on the mind and body. During meditation, brain waves shift to slower frequencies, such as alpha and theta waves, which are associated with deep relaxation, creativity, and healing. This demonstrates that by entering a meditative state, we are not only accessing internal dimensions of perception, but also directly altering our physical and emotional reality. One of the most significant transformations brought about by meditation is the shift in our perception of time and space. During deep meditation, the mind can transcend the linearity of time, experiencing what many describe as an eternal now. This state of pure presence can bring deep insights, showing us that time, like reality, is a construction of the mind. When we begin to access this state of presence, our relationship with time changes, and with it, our ability to manifest changes in the physical world intensifies. This alteration in the perception of time is fundamental when we think about distorting reality. If reality is shaped by our thoughts and intentions, accessing states of consciousness where time is fluid allows us to influence not only the present but also the future and even the past. Time ceases to be a rigid line and becomes something malleable, subject to the influence of our consciousness. It's no wonder that many spiritual and esoteric traditions place meditation as a central practice for those who wish to transcend the limits of the physical world. In addition, meditation has the power to help us cleanse our energy field. When we meditate, denser vibrations, such as fear, anger, or doubt, begin to dissipate, making room for higher frequencies like love, gratitude, and peace. This process of energetic cleansing is essential for us to distort reality intentionally and positively. Just like a dirty lens, when our emotions and thoughts are clouded, the reality we project will also be distorted in a negative way. In this scenario, meditation acts as a cleansing of this lens, allowing the light of consciousness to shine unobstructed. So, the ability to alter reality begins in the mind, but it is amplified through deep meditative states that connect us to the higher frequencies of existence. All of this has a profound impact on the hologram of the reality we experience. But the heart, in particular, plays an essential role in this process. Studies reveal an electromagnetic field generated by the heart and its interaction with the environment. This field, which extends for meters around the body, is directly influenced by the emotions we feel. Thoughts, in turn, serve as the direction or focus of this energy field. Practical examples of this can be observed in everyday situations. Have you ever noticed how, when entering a tense environment, you automatically feel the weight of that energy? This happens because the energy field of the people in that environment influences your own. Likewise, when you feel positive and confident, it seems like the world conspires in your favor. Opportunities flow more easily, and your interactions are more fluid. This constant adjustment of reality through emotions and thoughts reinforces the idea that the hologram around us is not something fixed. It responds to the internal state we carry. And when we develop greater awareness of the emotional and mental patterns we cultivate, we can begin to consciously adjust this field, changing the frequency with which we tune into reality. So in essence, the key to shaping the hologram of reality lies in aligning thoughts and emotions in a coherent and positive way, creating an energy field that resonates with what we want to manifest. This process is continuous, and the more awareness we bring to it, the more effective we become in adjusting reality in our favor. Reality responds to you. Every second, you are tuning frequencies, adjusting your perception, and manifesting new possibilities. Just as we discussed before, the mind projects and the world responds. So the question that remains is, what reality do you want to create now? Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. Thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care and see you soon.